So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Whole Division podcast. I am your hostess, Chidzz, Chitty, Becky. I've been called so many different things. I answer to so many different names. It ain't nothing new. You know how it is. But yes, I've got some amazing guests with me this evening. We've got the beautiful Silver. Beautiful Silver, do you want to introduce yourself and just tell us something about yourself?
Okay. Hey, I'm Silver. You may know me as free flow from, at Free Flowing Thoughts. I do lives as well, very diverse as well. Yeah, that's kind of me. I'm a bit of a bohemian soul, so you get to know me.
Yeah, we love that. Free spirited. And then next up, we've got the beautiful Divine Lady. Divine Lady, you've been on a couple of times, and I keep having you back. Love your energy, and I love your views. Tell us a little bit about you.
Boo. Yeah, I've been doing lives as well. Divine Lady 23, I'm known as. I'm on the Triggered Thoughts show as well with my guys. So yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, we love you guys over at Trigger Force. You lot are doing great things. Keep making good content. Trust me, it resonates 100%. And lastly, we have the amazing, the wonderful, the No Truth Barred podcast. We've got Hoyt.
Peace.
You know the love is real.
My name is Hoyt. I'm an asshole. No, I'm joking. No, I'm playing. No, so I know people that kind of follow me on the ground. They probably think I'm just like dead and not doing anything. But I've just really been invested in the TikTok and YouTube shorts. So I kind of been more so doing a lot more on those platforms as opposed to like Instagram. But I definitely want to get more active. I know people like, man, he don't do anything, but Chitty follows me on TikTok. So, I'm like really active over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm honored to be here. You guys do a great job at Whole Division. I love what you guys talk about. I'm hoping that my dude Sticky joins. This is Taurus season officially. 420. But I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited about the conversation tonight.
I knew you were going to drop Sticky in there. Why you got to give him that energy? Don't give him that airtime or airplay. It's crazy. But do you know what? I'm going to forgive you. For your intelligence and all the intellect, I'm going to forgive you. But guys, yes, we've got some great topics for you this evening. So as always, we do 3 topics. And I do have a little scenario to throw in there just to mix things up, just to spice it up just a little bit. So our first topic is going to be self-betrayal. It was something. This topic was inspired by the beautiful Silver. She put something in the group, and it was just. I was like, yeah, we need to go with this one. This is a good one.
Yeah.
The second topic is practicing discernment when meeting new people. Could mean so many different things, but we're going to chop it up. And then the third topic is a topic that myself and Divine Lady, we did speak up, but we were going to do it on another live, on a previous live. But you know what? The conversation was so, it went on so long, and it was so insightful that we kind of missed this topic. So I've added it in just so we can talk about it. So it's intuition. Is it a blessing or a curse? So yeah. One to get you thinking. But yeah, so I'm going to go with the first topic, which is self-betrayal. And Silver, because you picked this one, I'm going to go with you first. I want you to start off. So talk to us, beautiful.
What inspired me, and this has been in my mind for a while actually, is because we're all on media and we all know there's trending topics, so everyone jumps on the same topics. You know how it goes. But the topic that's been circulating for years and years on and off media is loyalty, okay? And people still bellyache about other people being disloyal. It's a never-ending conversation. And I thought to myself, okay, whilst that could be very much, it's the truth, right? People, fake friends, all this kind of stuff. I said to myself, how quick we are, how quick I am, all of us, at pointing at other people, yet I betray myself. Probably every day, not every week or every year. That could be, Chitty didn't call me back, but did I go to the gym today? No.
She was there.
That could
You see it there.
be, that could be, do you see? So I just feel like we spend a lot of time externally. We're very external, really, no matter how deep we want to say we are. And that could be, especially with partnerships and friends. There's a lot of demands that we place on other people that we don't take accountability for ourselves. And the more I looked at how I betray myself, it could be I've been naughty for the last year of my diet. That's massive betrayal.
No, it
Why?
isn't.
It
Yeah,
affects your
no.
mood, it affects your mood, your skin, your weight, your vibration, everything. But yeah, I'm gonna say what Divine didn't do, what Chidi didn't do. So I'm very much in a season of looking at how I shortchange, and be disloyal to myself from a soul perspective, firstly.
Yeah, from a soul
Wow.
perspective,
So I'll just
yeah,
start with that.
I love
I just
that.
start with that, yeah?
Yeah, no, no, I love that because you know what? When you brought this to my attention, I was just like, do you know what? The way I looked at it was, you know,
Mm,
sometimes if you're around a toxic person and you know that person's no good for you or you know
mm,
or whatever, but you kind of keep holding on to it and then it all blows up, it goes a bit mad. Like it's only you that can. You have to hold yourself accountable for these things because we are the creators of our own reality, innit? So whatever
mm,
we choose to bring in, whatever we choose to hold on to, whatever we choose not to let go of, that's literally on us. And I think a lot of people
Exactly.
don't take accountability in the sense where they say, oh, you know, but I was just trying to be a good friend, or I was trying to heal that person, help that person heal. I thought I could make them better. I thought my energy would uplift them and raise their vibration. No, not always. Sometimes you just can't help people. You have to help yourself first. And this is where I say you have to be selfish in a way enough to protect your energy, but you have to be wise enough to be able to say, do you know what? These are the things that I did wrong. And this is what I could have done. You know, prevention is better than cure, isn't it? So this is what I could have done in order to make the situation easier for myself. But then I guess that's where the life lessons are. But when you keep repeating it and repeating it, then it's kind of a you problem. That's my kind of thing on it. Hoyt, I'm going to come to you. Talk to me. Talk to me. Self-betrayal.
Yeah. I think when we're talking about self betrayal, it requires examination of who we are. And I think it's far more comfortable to look at the world and spot all of the darkness and spot all of the bad guys, but you don't want to spot the bad guy within. You don't want to
mhm,
you don't want to spot the darkness inside you. And I think the greatest way to heal is to understand what sort of to acknowledge that you've been the bad guy in the story, and it's not hyperbole. No, you've done something effed up to somebody, and you've said things effed up, or even you betrayed yourself. You
Mm,
know, we hold people to all of these standards, but as the other guest was saying, and I apologize, I forgot the name.
me too,
Um, how do
Silver.
you? There you go. Uh, how strict are you on holding yourself accountable? How strict are you on holding yourself to certain standards? And I think it's far easier for us to embrace a narrative where we can criticize everyone else. We can see the standards lacking in other people, but I think it's painful. I don't think we want to look at it. I think we want to, kind of push that into the background. But the problem is when you push the self accountability into the background, when you push the fact that continuously you do not hold yourself to certain standards in the background,
mm,
all of that spiritual and mental junk begins to pile up. And it
mm.
presents itself into many problems that spills out into your everyday life. So while you're like able to point the finger at everyone else, you're mismanaging your own life. You're getting behind on things that you're supposed to be doing. So I think if you can embrace the pain of seeing where you're falling short and holding yourself accountable, then you can also embrace the pain that the world is going to bring towards you as well, because you're going to make yourself a better person in the process.
100%. It's all about life is a journey, and then it comes with a series of journeys, and self-development plays such a big part in these things. Divine Lady, what are we saying, girl?
Yeah, just touching on the back of what you guys said, I think sometimes we're not loyal to self because what I see out there is that people like to play victim
Mm,
when
mm,
in reality, a lot of the time when we end up in certain situations, we've seen the red flags or the big dirty no entry signs, and we've chosen to ignore it out of free will, but then still feel mad at the end result when we saw all the signs that was leading to that end result.
Yeah.
Whereas, like the gentleman said, sorry, because I'm really like not good with names as well.
It's okay.
I think, yeah, it's easier to just point the headlights at people and just act as if we've relinquished all our power and responsibility to oneself, you know. But when you start looking at yourself and being really honest with yourself, you just view things differently. You do, literally.
You do.
Yeah.
May I jump in real quick? Is that all right, guys?
Yeah, no, of course.
You know, I'm listening because obviously it's quite abstract if you look at it. We all got our own little, you know, opinions. But what you three, I think, have in common, even Chidzz, is how you related it to other people. Right? I think the gentleman here pretty much didn't. So when I listened to like Chidzz and Divine, the example, which is fine, was like in relation to how we of other people. Whereas, and that's abstract, which is also, it's like art, isn't it? It's okay to be that way. I think when I first kind of thought of the concept, it was more of the case of looking at other people, but I should be purely focused on self in regards to loyalty. Anybody outside of me is purely an enhancement to me in that oneness. So what I'm saying is there's so many things within the last 2 months that I should have done. But because we are and we can afford to put it to the back of our minds because it's us, right? It's easier to say Divine didn't turn up last night. She didn't do it because obviously outside of self, we're focused on other people who ain't moving right. Everybody else has got a vibe and needs to be saged other than ourselves.
And I mean,
go on, sorry, sir. Go on.
I think for me, because there's so many different ways of looking at the situation, but if we're focused on, if we're looking at it from a perspective of where we're just focusing on ourselves, I agree with you in the sense of outside of us. Like I don't give a shit about anything outside of me in it, not really, unless it's family or unless it's the people that I love. I actually don't really care. It's not that deep for me. And I do notice like people tend to take that really personally when you do that. When you're actually focused on you and what you're doing and who you are and your own vibration, people just take offense to it. And it's like, you know, but then you've got another set of people who are like, when you're all up in their business and you want to know what's what, and you know, like, see me, I don't know what's going on from 1 week to the next because no, I didn't see it. No, I didn't engage in it. No, I didn't, because myself, I've learned over the years where I'm such an empath. Like I'm not saying my empath days are done. They're not done, but I just do it in other ways. I've learned to kind of utilize myself so that I'm left with energy, because it can deplete you. It can definitely deplete you. That's why I kind of talk in terms of when I say about other people. But then I'm the only one who's responsible for how other people make me feel. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, 100%. This person might have done a madness, or this person might be drunk, but why is it affecting me so much? So that's when things like that, you know, even when like little things annoy me, I have to look within, because because when something's annoying you, it's because it's triggered something within you. So I always have to look within, but unfortunately not everyone works like that, and people don't understand, just then they get frustrated when you're not accessible, when they can't reach you or whatever. I'm like, listen, if you really need to reach me, you know where I am, and if you don't, then you're not my people. Do you know what I'm saying?
So I want to first of all, let me shout out Sticky Fingers. Taurus season, baby, had to say that.
Did you say Taurus season?
Yeah. 422. You know, but this is something I want to present to the panel, and we're on the topic of examining self, holding self accountable, looking at where we've fallen short as individuals, looking at where maybe we have some things we need to fix. This is what I want to ask, and this is going to be uncomfortable. This is not going to be a fun question.
Let's do it.
When you've done that self-inventory and you've looked and you've seen where you've fallen short. So it could be maybe you're not holding yourself accountable with certain promises, or you reflected on an interaction and you realize that you genuinely, if you have to be truthful, you did not move the right way or you did not do the right thing. And then when you realize that and you hit that feeling of like, damn, I fucked up. I was the bad guy. And you get that nasty, this doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
What is your step from there to make sure that you improve going forward? When you have that realization, whether it be, hey, I'm not good at holding myself accountable, or maybe I did do something that was not the right thing to do, and you realize you indeed were the catalyst for the negative feeling or bad emotion, what's your point of resolution and improving and making sure that it doesn't happen again once you hit that realization?
I feel like you,
Can I go first?
yeah, of
Is that
course
to
you can,
anybody?
please.
Who's that to?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, please.
For
Is
me,
that to me? I'll go on.
it would be owning it. No excuses, just being 100% real and taking ownership of what I've done, not making any excuses, and apologizing as well. And then followed by that apology would be change behavior for me.
Indeed.
But
No, for real.
accountability, because I think sometimes people say sorry because they think it smooths things over. But when you say sorry, do you actually acknowledge what you're saying sorry for? Or are you just saying sorry because it sounds good and it's going to smooth everything over, like I said, So,
Yeah.
it's that
No,
take real ownership of what you've done. Because we know when we've done things that are effed up. You hear that voice of reason that tells you, like, you moved mad or your behavior wasn't right. You know it niggles at you. So if you're a person of conscience anyway, it will niggle at you.
Yeah. You got to be able to say the words. You got to be able to say what you did. You got to say with chest, and you got to stand on that apology. And like you said, it's your actions that, because a lot of people will say sorry and then they'll just go and do the same shit again the next day. Sometimes some people actually don't even care, but you've just got to be able to, I think you've got to be able to speak about what you've done, because a lot of people say, oh no, I don't want to talk about it, I said sorry, and that's that, and that's speak on it. But when you speak on it, you will see, you've got to be able to realize your own flaws and where you went wrong. I think that's a big, important part, because we can all be wrong. We've all been wrong, and we're all going to be wrong at some point. But it's actually addressing it and taking the accountability, as you say. Silver, talk to me. What are you saying, girl?
I'm in reflectivity mode, and as you guys are speaking, you've given me time to really. I'm trying to unlayer, decades, times, friendship, family, parenting. And I'm saying to myself, I can't relate in the way that you emphasize on the horrible feeling and I can't resonate with that, because I don't tend to allow things to get to that point. I can say if I felt like I've responded incorrectly, because obviously it's like if you and I have an argument now or disagreement. If you're arguing by yourself, then nothing can happen, right? If I'm indulging, then I'm a part of that war. So I'm a part of the tango. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that I've responded could be the way I went wrong. It's no different to me talking about a topic the other day with someone on social media about, I don't know, history, whatever, a couple of people. Had I not commented, that wouldn't have taken place. But because I commented, it went into something else. Do you see my point? So my only flaw was even commenting. So where do I go? Where do I go at that point? And how do I diffuse it? And for me, it was like, I always use the word acknowledgement, because if you use the word acknowledgement, it allows the receiver to understand that you don't have to agree or succumb, but you acknowledge. That's quite a powerful word. I acknowledge you. I acknowledge how you felt. I acknowledge that you feel this way, even if I don't succumb to that point of view. And once that's kind of how I tend to, resolve things, in terms of, doesn't have to always be an argument. I don't feel like I can remember a time where it got like that. I would say, reflectively, I'm thinking of parenting when it got that intense. Parenting.
Oh yeah, parenting.
That's parents we don't really feel like we should apologize for anything. We're always
Yeah,
right, you
and
see.
and that's a whole
No,
different
I don't
ballgame.
conform to that, you know.
Let me not get into that then, but I'm just saying,
I don't
that's
conform
the
to
only
that.
thing that I could think of, like, and,
Mm,
you know,
Yeah,
yeah. So for me, in terms of like, I think to be honest, guys, a bit controversial with myself here when I say this to end it on my part, but I think I'm in well, I know that I'm in a season of, I'm too used to hanging out my own laundry. And I don't need to keep doing that anymore. I'm always like, this is what I've done. This is where I'm wrong. This is where
mhm.
I'm apologize. People, I don't come across people who are like this. So
no,
now
it's very
I'm
rare.
saying
Yeah.
to myself, Silver, you don't have to always be the one keeping it 100 because no one else
No,
is.
do you get me? Sometimes you have to match
I like
energy, you
that.
know?
Chidi,
No,
Because
sometimes
no one else
Chidi,
is.
Chidi, I swear to you, I'm really thinking about this, what this
Yeah.
gentleman's asked. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm in a season where I'm like, you know what? Like I'd be like, Chidi, I did this, and this is where I was wrong. And Chidi, you know what we spoke about a year ago. I thought about it, and
yeah,
no,
don't do
my chest is
that.
now. I'm good now because everyone seems to be okay
Yeah,
sleeping. So let me sleep too.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That trust me, they put their head on their pillows and they sleep
Not
hard at night.
sleep.
Because
Hmm.
yeah, totally, I totally
The
feel what
only
you're
Yeah.
time
saying.
I don't is when I feel like
Yeah.
I have a calling to show wisdom, and you need to be
Yeah,
not the better person, but
yeah,
the more person of wisdom in this position.
yeah,
If not, if
Mm.
you don't want to talk about it, I'm good. That's a whole other conversation. I've literally stopped talking to two people
Hear
recently because of
you.
that. You don't want to
yeah.
talk, I don't want to talk. Then I'm not going to keep being the one that's like, can we talk over tea and scones? Can we discuss this and
Oh
the
Mm.
yeah, no, no,
candlelight?
no, no. I'm not
Mm.
having no
That's you.
conversation with nobody.
Really me. No,
Yeah.
I'm usually the resolver, but I've
Yeah.
Yeah,
noticed that it's always
yeah.
me.
And when
Yeah.
you know, and that's something, and then you learn things about yourself, and you think, you know what? If it's always you, then
Always me.
why can't it be somebody else? It needs to
Yeah.
be somebody else at some point, and that's the lesson. So I think by being, you
Mm.
know, a certain way, and then I don't know. Sometimes I know that I've become the villain in many people's stories, yeah, because I've been an empath for so long, and I've always been that shoulder to cry on, and people
Mm-mm,
will trauma dump on me
mm-mm.
automatically and stuff. Now I'm just like, now I have boundaries now. Like I
Hmm.
know my boundaries now, and now I'm the
Yeah.
villain, but I'm happy being the
But
villain.
Chidi, you know
I
what it
know,
is? That's
right?
what I mean by
I'm right there
loyalty.
with you, babe.
That's what I mean by the loyalty, guys, is being like, it's okay. I mean, I know we all, again, have our own version of how we see this topic, but I'm still fixated on, I cannot demand or highly request a certain status of loyalty from someone else when I don't display that for myself with
Come on,
thyself.
Yeah.
I'm
come
gonna
on.
admire you.
Hmm.
See me, this is how I watch people. Forget about the generosity and the empath and listen to me. I like to watch how you treat yourself. I'm
Mm, yeah.
attracted to men who love on themselves in a certain way, even if it means putting me second. I love how you love you.
Oh, you
Mm.
know what? I believe in that. I think
Do you
Yeah.
understand? That's the
self
loyalty
love
that
is
I'm talking
first.
about. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
ride or die. Well, for me, yeah, I rather die for me.
Mm,
Yeah.
That's the loyalty I'm talking
yeah.
about.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
And if you're involved
100%
in my
hear that.
life, that comes under the same umbrella. But I'm riding for me.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. No, I get it. Trust me, I get it.
Mm.
We've got big up to everybody in the comments so far, and big up to everybody that has joined. We've got DJ Sticky Fingers asks, as parents, do you apologize after the event?
Yes,
Ooh.
I'm so good at that.
Yep.
You know what?
Yes,
I always, I always gotta
yes.
check myself. Like I always do.
Listen,
I think that's the only time, right, that I really do. It's the only time it gets to me. The only
mm.
time
Hmm.
is when it's my child, and if I know I've said something to upset her, or I know I'm just like, do you know what? Look, I'm real sorry for
Mm.
doing that. I'm
Mm.
real sorry for the way I acted. I'm real sorry for the way I spoke to you, and because I
Mm.
can't sleep if I can't rest if I know that it's not good between me and my child. Do you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I
anyway,
sleep good. I sleep very good when I sleep very well.
Sylvie said I sleep
I
very
can't
well.
I
say.
always
I'm
sleep.
just
Oh,
like, oh,
sleep 10 hours.
I
I
would.
can't. Nah. If I know I've upset my kids' feelings, I'll be real. I won't sit well. It won't sit well with me because one thing I want to teach them is that their feelings and their voice matters because I feel
Yeah,
like, especially within our culture,
yeah,
where children are seen and not heard, and you have to put up and shut up. But with that comes a lot of disrespect. and a lot of abuse that I just don't think anyone should tolerate just because someone's older than them. And I'm not teaching my kids that they should accept certain things just because I hold the title of mum. That doesn't give me all free reign or rights to treat them
Can I explain why I
anyhow.
said that though?
Yeah.
Guys, can I explain why I said that?
Yeah.
I sleep very well when I know that as a parent and an elder to my son, that I am justified. Your upset feelings is for you to learn how to navigate with my support.
Yeah, yeah.
If
When
you
you
were
look at it from,
upset, because of the stance I took as a parent, when you know not, I am the landlady of my yard. So my thing is, being upset is one thing, but was I justified? Now, if I've crossed the line and I've overexerted my power, then I'm asking for forgiveness.
yeah, 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Or
being
just run your
upset,
mouth anyhow.
you can upset me right now and put me in check. I'm upset, but were you wrong?
Yeah, if some, when you're not wrong, it's like, oh,
That's what I'm
okay,
saying, sis.
yeah, it's
So
like,
I sleep very well. I mean, when I mean very well, it's again, it's loyalty to thyself. Now that he's a big man, everyone pretty much knows I'm a grandmother. He's a big man in his 30s. Like now he understands what parenting's about.
yeah,
And he's
because
not always going to be the good guy all the time as a father to his daughter. So it is what it is.
yeah, you know, always going to be you can't always be, because you're not their friend, and you're not
We
here
are
to
not
be like, well,
friends.
yeah, we're not, and that's
In that.
one big thing I had to learn
And then our
with
friend
my child.
business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not for real, man. I had to learn that with my child, because do you get me? It's just me and her. She's 16 now, and around 15, started getting a few problems and whatnot and whatever. And I was like, yeah, man, I've been this girl's bedroom for too long. You get me? And then, who the hell am I? Who the hell am I to all of a sudden just step up and say, yo, like, what are you doing? Wait there a minute. I've treated you like a friend all the time. So I kind of deserve that. I deserve that. Do you get me?
That's
Then I had to check myself. I definitely had to check myself and say, hold on a minute, this is your doing. You created this, so you need to fix it and fix yourself in the process as well. Hoyt, just before I come to back to you, I'm gonna read some of these comments. So let's do a Judy, big up yourself each and every time. She says the older generation didn't, but I like to think after them I can say and do. I can say I do and have done in the past when I was wrong. Big up verbs, guys. If you're not following verbs, only one verbs, go and follow him. Go and follow the Triggered Thoughts it's not podcast, I keep saying podcast, it's Triggered Thoughts show now. Yeah, go and follow them, they're doing great works. Vibe says free flowing is a very wise woman indeed.
Love all
DJ
day.
Sticky DJ Sticky Finger says, but we all have different characters and roles. One person might be the one who says sorry. The other party might be the person who does something else that's positive. And he agrees with Lustious UG. We've got only verbs. Only one verb says, nah, I don't. Bun these Ross kids are verbs. Verbs. How can it go from with Sticky saying something so calm and wise, and then you got verbs with your mouth? Big up Glam Chat Nads. Guys, I'm going live tomorrow with my 4 Pretty Minds ladies. We're going live, so look out for that. We're doing great things over there. So Glam Chat Nads says self evaluation as a parent is very important. Accountability works both ways.
Yes, God, yes. Love it. Love that statement.
Yeah. It definitely does. And I think a lot of parents become very ignorant when it comes to apologizing to their child. Listen, you can't be that stubborn, and you can't be that you can't stand on business in that kind of way, because when your child turns around and disrespects you, that's on you. It's definitely on you. You have to watch how you roll when it comes to your kids. Hey, talk to me. What are you saying? What are we saying?
So I guess I am not a parent. So in that regard, I wouldn't be able to empathize. But I think what I would say, kind of like the overall kind of flow of the conversation, is that I think the way that I, kind of look at myself, I look at myself as being malleable. So there were points in my life where I was really not the most mature person, not the best person. There were times where, I did not, do the right thing or say the right thing. And so sometimes, I'll reflect back on lessons that may have happened 10 years ago and see what I can kind of gain out of that going forward to enhance myself, to continue to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm conveying myself correctly, that when I'm, falling off as it relates to specific things, like I said, whether it can be, one of the things that I'm trying to work on, this is a smaller goal, is to eliminate any sort of profanity. So, I have a good economy of words, but it's just to make sure that instead of going to something that's a little bit more trite, that I'm making sure that I'm holding myself accountable in conversation. I also want to make sure I'm more present in conversation with people as well. These are like minor things, but these are things I'm trying to hold myself accountable to. So I think back maybe at times where I wasn't like that. How can I use those tools from situations where I was maybe more broken, where I was maybe less attentive, less responsive to people, and kind of like say, okay, this is an old situation where I can extrapolate from, and it's kind of similar to this situation. But I always try to see myself as being fluid. The way Hoyt is today is not going to be how I am 5 years from now. So we're always in a state of flux, and we're constantly changing, and adapting. So I was actually in a period of learning just now from, when I become a parent, I'm listening to everything that you guys are saying, and these are tools that I can have in my toolbox, for when that day comes. So it's just always about always being able to learn and grow and receive what people are willing to give you. Even if you didn't mean to teach me, this was a teachable moment.
It's a teachable everything, because I always say everything is a teachable moment. And wait, I want to touch on something you said. You said these are small things, but the smallest things make the biggest difference.
Indeed.
Honestly. So anybody who says, I'm trying to work on these things, those things are big to you. They're big to you. They're big to your self-development. They're big to your self-awareness. So I would just say keep pushing and keep going and keep doing what you're doing, because self-reflection is everything. It definitely is. I'll be one more comment. Big up Miss Solo. Please go and follow her. She's doing her thing. She's putting content up there. She's an SEM parent. And she's amazing at what she does. Zoe says, our parents are old school, and some parents think they're too big and bad to apologize. And that is definitely a thing. And it's, do you know what? Let me just not go off into the tangent, because that certain generation and the entitlement, rough.
Yeah.
Anywho. Let me move on,
But Chidzz, sorry, before you move on, can I just say something real quick? I need to also cover this.
Yeah.
You see, because of how I am passionate sometimes, it can give one kind of opinion in isolation. And I want to also add, I'm also the parent on the other side that can be quite emotional, which means when I say that I was sleep good, it doesn't mean I haven't cried about it.
Yeah.
I needed to add that, because I'm okay in the vulnerability. I really am.
Yeah.
I needed to add that, because ain't this like Chuck adult business? It's a case of, just to round my part up, I'll just say this, and maybe this will sit right with a lot of you, hopefully. My son being a grown man now, grown big man now. From his 20s, I asked him a question that I was terrified of the answer. I don't know why I was, but we feel like we're good parents, but you don't know where you could have scarred them. You don't know. No matter how good you think you are, it doesn't matter. There's going to be something that you didn't do right. Okay. And I think I'm a fly mama, but he may think I'm a whack mama. Let's be real. You don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, no, I hear it. Yeah, because
so I actually asked my son. I asked him. I said, "Son, in any way have I caused you any trauma that I don't know about?" I was so scared to ask the question, but I wanted to ask him. I wanted to ask him something my parents never would ask me. Never.
Do you know what? That's powerful.
I thought
that is powerful.
I really wanted to share that with you. And he was like, I said, "Son, just tell me." He said, "No, no." I said, there's got to be something. He said, "Yeah, you were strict, because I was, single mom. So I weren't going to be the single mom where you can run over me. That won't happen in my house.
A man.
I was
you were
a serious mom, serious mom with no whoopings. Yeah, serious mom, but I didn't play. He calls it the boot camp." He says to his granddaughter, go to Nana, go to the boot camp. I don't play in my house. We play with anybody, to be honest. So because of that, I had to balance it with a lot of affection. I'm very
Okay.
militant in terms of discipline, but I'm very much very loving. And I just wanted to let you know that to ask your child, truly ask and say at a certain age, did I in any way did you experience any trauma that I don't know about?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, man. That's some food for
So
thought.
I
Right
have
there.
I'm that mom too.
I have a question. I have a question because now I can kind of jump into this a little bit more because I do have parents, believe it or not. Uh, but but I know there's this kind of like this old school mentality of the parent is the barometer for like understanding truth, etc. Because I get it, they do have decades on this earth beyond me, but I think it's a degree of like one's character where you could even put yourself in the frame of mind to even ask that sort of a question
Okay.
because I think about my parents, and as I've gotten older we've had some of these conversations about things that have happened that have shaped me,
Okay.
so one of the things with my mom, being a little bit vulnerable here, is that my mom is always a person that's going to go above and beyond for you, but my mom's not really emotional. So
Okay. I get it. I get it.
my mom doesn't do hugs. She doesn't do any of that stuff. So I kind of felt like a void because of my mother, was that I was kind of always seeking like that affection kind of in people at times.
Okay.
And the way my mother loves and parents, she looks at it like I was there for you. I went, and she will in a tough situation, she will go above and beyond, but she doesn't look at the need for like the hugging and the kind of the more like affection of the I love yous as a need. But then at the same time, when I started to have conversations with her, then I looked at how she was raised. So it's kind of like what she
Yeah.
was raised in molded her perception of love. And then it kind of like impacted me where I kind of looked for that affection and warmth and other things that I didn't get with her. She was loving. I know she's my ride or die to the core, but a sort of like love and affection and embrace that I needed wasn't there for me. But my mom, I think she came from that old school of train of thought where this is my word, this is the law, and this is how I'm going to convey things to you. And I
Okay.
just commend you for the fact that you put your own trepidations and fears to the side to ask your son, hey, has there been anything that may have impacted you? Because maybe you may have good intentions, but your good intentions could still have an adverse impact and effect on somebody. So I just commend you for doing
Yeah.
that.
Thank you so much.
Thank
The road wasn't easy, and I think the reason why, I mean, sometimes as a single parent, you overcompensate. So, and I wanted to make sure I didn't do that. A lot of single parents, or when you've gone through certain things, children has observed. Thankfully, he didn't go through any trauma in that way. But yes, as a single mother, I wanted to make sure that I didn't overcompensate by spoiling him in any way because of that. But I
Yeah.
also held a guilt because I didn't raise him with that family unit, and I had to kind of learn to let that go.
Yeah.
So at the same
Yeah.
time, you feel like you're giving all this love and they've got this and they've got that, but you may have scarred them in certain areas. You may have done. So when you get the opportunity, guys, at a certain age, whatever the age may be, and every now and again, renew that contract. Ask again, another 5 years, another 10 years.
And then ask them again. Yeah, because we do, we like you said, this does not come with a handbook, and parenting is not an easy road, and we're going to make mistakes. We're going to, and we do, especially, I think, I'm a single mom myself, and I have done the overcompensating thing. I have done it, and
A
it's
lot of
to my,
women do.
yeah, it's to my own detriment as well.
It's to
It's
your own
to my
detriment.
dog's
There we
detriment
go.
also. Yeah, it's terrible. So it's something that we have to, this is why we have to always self-reflect and think, do you know what? And then sometimes, if we've been through things, we're so hell-bent on the fact that we do not want our children to experience those things. We overdo it.
Oh,
We really
we
do.
do it.
Way too much. And then when they do act up now, we come with I've done this for you and I've made sure and da, da, da. Listen, do you know, outside of us, they're not just our children, they're human beings themselves.
Yeah.
They've got whole personality.
They don't belong
They've got a
to
whole
you,
life.
babe.
Exactly. They're not your property.
Learn to let them go.
Not. Yeah, this is something me and Verbs and Ash spoke about this on a previous podcast. Is that literally your children, we have to look at our children outside of ourselves. It's not always about us, but as parents, especially single mums, we tend to be very close-minded when it comes to those things. I'm just going to read out a couple of these comments. Big up to Melt Me Insta. Guys, if you're not following Melt Me, please, please, please. She has her own brand. She makes her candles. She makes her wax melt. And she's just doing amazing. She just made a candle for the Tidra Moses. Absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, and she sent her a thank you video and everything. It was amazing, guys. She's doing great things. Yeah, and she's built a business from scratch, and she's just very genuine, and I absolutely love her. She's amazing. The only one Verb says, balance is needed. Firmness with the niceness as a parent is a must. Too much of one is not good. Yeah. We've got Miss Solo 87 says we can't protect our kids from everything. Verbs also says, as much as I love my kids, I can't wait to let these damn kids go.
Me and Verbs always run joke about that. Mine is gone now. Living this woman, I'm gone. So I'm happy. I was happy. I done my big girl.
You can tell it's been the Easter holidays, isn't it? Everyone's like, yeah, get back to school now. But yes, guys, you know what? That's such an interesting topic.
That's cracked me up.
It's really funny. But the self-betrayal thing, it's definitely something. There's so many different parts to it. Like you said, that it's very abstract, and there's so many different parts to it, and we could, it's something that for everyone to go and think about. Definitely, I think I'm going to write a few things down myself on that one. I would definitely spark my thoughts. It definitely got me thinking. But yeah, guys. So the next topic we have. Practicing discernment when meeting new people. Right, now this one kind of popped up because, for me, I feel like, in this new age that we live in, and we meet a lot of people online, both men and women, we meet a lot of people online. You got to be careful because you don't know who the hell you're speaking to. You don't know what demons, I hate to use that word, but you don't know what demons people are carrying. You don't know what their intentions are. And a lot of people do say, but how do you meet new people? By practicing discernment. A lot of people don't, they'll be like, yeah, that's my friend. Yeah, listen, do you know when you get that? For me, I don't care, innit? It's my gut, my spirit, and your energy is often, things are not feeling great. You think I'm gonna... Nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. It's going to be different for everyone. And I know not everyone has the same level of discernment, or they don't trust certain things, like on the intuition and this, that, and the other. And they'll think, let me just go with it. But we do have to be very vigilant. And I'm not just talking in the physical. I'm talking, in spiritual terms, in terms of energy. I look at everything in terms of energy. So that's where I'm coming from on it. But Divine Lady, I'm going to come to you first. Practicing discernment when meeting new people. What does that topic mean to you?
It's funny because I was having this conversation with the guys the other day, and I was saying, for me, what I've learned is to trust the pattern of behavior that a person shows me.
Okay.
I don't decode anything now. When you give it to me blue, I take it as it's blue. I'm not making excuses for big people. It's not my responsibility to heal everyone. So if you come to me with a problem, I can assist you, but I can't take on your problem. So for me, I trust the energy that I get, the feeling I get when I'm around someone. Because I feel like you said, energy is everything, and energy doesn't lie. And no, I don't want to be friends with everybody. I love God's people, but I don't like all of God's people, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
So I won't even pretend to like I do like everyone, because I don't. I know that my energy is not going to vibe with everybody. I'm going to be like Marmite to some. Some might even feel offended because I'm a person that I don't need to be up underneath everyone, doing what everyone else is doing. I'm very happy on my lonesome.
Come on.
And that's not to say I'm being me, but that's just how I move. I'm not the person that will be sitting in your house for hours on end. Don't you have your own house to go to?
You know that? Yeah, that's bad.
I'm just a very funny person.
Mm.
I'm not always going to want to speak on the phone or answer messages. My phone might be on DND, but it's nothing personal. And I think you have to learn to save some of your energy for yourself, because givers have to set limits, because if you don't, takers don't have no limits.
Mhm.
And I think that's a big part of discernment, knowing when someone's just siphoning your energy and they actually haven't come to add anything to your life. They've just come to take. They haven't come to water the garden.
No.
They've just come to fill the plants, literally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me.
Yeah, they've come to subtract 100%.
Yeah. Overall, I trust the pattern of behavior a person shows me.
Yeah, just you got to watch when people move, and you got to watch what their intentions are, and especially on this online life. Yeah, online life, the way people just it is their life. It's everything to them. And see me, I got to explain to some motherfuckers. Listen, I got a whole life outside of the shit. Do you think this shit? I schedule my posts. You know, I will schedule my posts. They'll go up at a certain time. I ain't on my phone. Do you get me? Or like whatever you want to think, you think it, innit? Because these people think this shit is real life.
Yeah.
Like, you will never know, man. I'll make you think bare things in one day. Yeah. Well, now I'm sat on the end of my bed thinking, if penguins got knees, like, do you think I'm thinking mad? Yeah, thinking a wild, thinking of crazy. Because if you know what? Do you know when people take things personal, innit?
They feel entitled to your energy. That's what it is.
Like, I woke up to you this morning, and you are right. And then, if I do on a rare occasion, not now because I'm trying to evolve, but when people did used to be able to like draw me out on whatever, when I cuss them now, it's wild, isn't it? Because they're like, "Oh, you're all love and light," and yeah. But you don't. What the version you get of me depends on what you do and how you move. Like, I'm not doing that. Don't think you can hit me up all the time. And you know, even like my close friends, I'll be like, they'll knock the door, and I'm like, I'll speak to them through the ring doorbell. Why are you knocking my door? You never told me you was coming. Because that's mad to me. Because I need solitude, innit? Solitude helps me grow. It helps me to elevate. So I just don't know how. I get it that some people need people around them all the time. But for me, for people who need people around them all the time, they got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. And it's no judgment. I don't judge them. But I'm just like, I just say to them, you don't understand where I'm at and what it took for me to get where I am. So just allow me, innit? Like, please just give me a little minute. Silver, talk to me. Practicing discernment when meeting new people. What does that mean to you?
I don't actually have a choice. I think if you're activated, you can't shy away from something that's activated in you. You can just decide to ignore it, which I think a lot of us do. Yeah. But in terms of discernment, you're either activated or you're not. And that's and for those who wait, we can't knock them for that. They just don't feel that same pull. Not everybody walks in the room and has their hair stand up. Not everyone has those experiences where your head, you know, your granny may say, my head swell up, you know, me feel a funny way. Like, you don't one there.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, not everybody has that. Other people need literal, you know, chalk on a blackboard where something's wrong, you're in danger. Some people need that. Now, to be honest, again, I've taken risk in my time of life, and I've just been lucky that I end up on BBC News.
Oh Lord. God.
Let's not listen. We all sound good on the line, but if we go back into the archives, we've done foolishness. All of us have.
You know, sometimes, you know, when you think about
I definitely would have been on BBC News a good couple times.
Now I feel you, because shit I did then would never do now.
100%.
Listen, 100%. Okay, so when I think of discernment, you ain't got time for stories, but I'll just tell you this. When you can sit on a date and ask a man to show you his hand, which you've never done before, I ain't no palm reader.
Okay.
And I said, show me your hand. And I said, I'm really sorry. Can I ask you, have you ever hit a woman before?
Oh, wow.
And I felt a way to ask that, because why would I say that? I'm not a palm reader. But then I I didn't trust the gifts at the time anyway.
Yeah, yeah, you felt
And
it.
it's
You
like,
felt it.
and I'm like, I don't know, I'm getting this feeling. Now, bear in mind that when we use the word discernment and energy and vibe, sometimes you're just mixing your trauma with it. Let's be very clear. It's not
Yeah,
always
for real.
the reason why you've gone in a man's phone. Not until you to go on the phone. You go in the phone. So sometimes we've got to be aware that, is it really discernment, or is it you and your past trauma that's making you feel certain ways? And people do. There's a quote that says, don't get it confused. Okay. So when he said to me, no, I haven't, that turned into, oh no, she she tried to attack me and then I actually restrained her. Well, let's just say he nearly took my life when I started seeing him.
Oh wow! Could you
And I've
felt
got
it?
no history on. I have no history on him or nothing. So my spirit of discernment, if you want to call it ancestors or whatever, that told me for the first time in my life, not this one.
Yeah, wasn't him.
Yeah.
And as
Wasn't
I
for
always
you.
say to people as a cliffhanger, it involved a bath full of water, a butcher's knife, and a rope around my neck. I'll leave it there.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Then?
So my spirit of discernment is activated. It's me,
Yeah.
it's us
We
that
ignore
chooses
it.
to ignore and collect the red
Yeah.
flags. We keep
Yeah.
collecting red flags. We like the color red. You know what I'm trying to say?
100%,
Yeah. It's a bit mad.
babe.
It's a bit
Yeah,
So
mad.
yeah.
I hope that makes sense in my little riddles of you guys.
No, I
Because we're
get
not
it.
taught
That
to
was
trust it,
powerful.
though. That's the
You know
thing.
what?
We're
Someone's
not
left a
taught to trust our
I
intuition.
was. My mum was very much in tune. I actually was.
And sometimes it's scary as well, so we do ignore it because we're thinking, really? But as time goes on, and like you said, you grow more spiritually, you get more discernment, you don't ignore that because you know what happens when you ignore it. You've already felt the
100%.
ramifications and put your hand in the fire plenty of times, so you're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take heed this time. You ain't even got to do the big billboard for me. I'm gonna take heed,
Oh, come on.
literally.
And it goes back to the self-betrayal thing as well.
Yeah.
It's like,
Thank you.
if we ignore those things, because come on, we all, either whether it's ourselves or a friend or whatever, we all know somebody who's ignored it, and they've done it over and over and over again. They've been with the same person in different vessels, because they just keep refusing to believe certain things. That's when I think the problem becomes a problem. It's you.
Yeah.
You're the problem.
Of course.
You're
But
the
we are always the problem, though. We are actually ultimately always the problem. I don't know. I say that. I'm not saying you've got to believe, but I know what I
I
subscribe
agree.
to. Yeah, we are always the problem. Bottom line is, like I said, not everyone's activated, and for those who are, it's a blessing. For those who ain't,
Just
It's a blessing and a curse, babe.
Yeah,
Because
it's a
sometimes I
blessing.
want to be with them and with their head in the sky with the
Really?
fairies, to be
Why you
honest,
gotta
and
do that?
and not have all this raw discernment, because sometimes it's a lot. I'll be real,
Yeah.
literally, because people don't even know they're in front of you. You just read them. It's so easy. So when they think they're doing Jedi mind games and manipulating you, you're just thinking, I'm like way down the road at Tesco's because I already beat you to it. Like I can see through you. And it's a lot when you can literally read people around you. And that's why we need isolation sometimes. I'll be real, because it just gets too much.
But Divine, let me ask you an honest question, if you don't mind, Chidzz. Yeah.
No, go on.
Why? Again, I'll go back to this in another way, but same way. How can I put this? Why are we, though, as beings, so fluent with everything outside of ourselves? I say that again. Why are we so locked into other people, reading others, and what is that about for us? Do you see? And I'm a part of that. So what I'm saying is, we always got 20/20 vision, but Stevie Wonder for ourselves. What's that about?
I think sometimes it's about because it's a way of navigating through, innit? Because you have to be able to.
I don't think
kind of.
it's weird. It's very clear. It's very clear. Like for me, I can't be clear about Chidzz and be clear about myself.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not possible.
We need both.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because
we need to be able to self-reflect, but we also need to be able to look at people and learn from people.
That way.
So I will look at myself. You ain't even got to tell me about myself. I'll tell you first.
Literally. But it's going to be things about ourselves. Okay, if you was to record, for an example, if you watch back every live that you do, I irritate myself watching myself half the time, because you have to look at yourself. I mean, what you see yourself to be, it's like looking in the mirror, right? Everything's left when it's really right. So in real time, somebody else can still tell you a version of you that you're not checking in yourself.
Yeah.
No matter how much know me, and I'm very in tune. I'm very, but it can still take somebody else, whether it's with a third eye, first eye, whatever you want to call it, to show me something else, even if it's vibrationally about me that I haven't seen yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm not
Yeah.
in
No.
that realm of understanding. I'm not in that season of growth yet.
Yeah.
We
No,
need
I
each
hear
other
that.
to learn, trust me. That's the
Yeah.
point of this journey.
Yeah.
We need each other,
Definitely.
you
And that's
Yeah.
know?
why I'm getting slower at counting other people and looking at thyself.
Yeah.
Because we're very good at this. We're experts.
Mm,
Yeah, of
mm,
course. We've got our
mm.
headlights
Mm.
on. But it does start with us. Even when, you know, for example, I'll use relationships. When you get into a relationship with someone and you say, oh, he did this or she did that to me. But there had to be something in
Yes.
you that needed to meet that person in order to grow that part of you.
That's what I'm
That's
Maybe,
why I
maybe
saying. It's
learned
not.
about
from
your
mistakes,
Maybe
frequency.
not.
you know?
Yeah.
I think to myself, otherwise, why would I have even accepted that?
Do you know what I'm
I
saying?
needed that to be able
Yeah.
to reflect, to look at myself,
Yeah,
you
for
know?
real.
And not
Yeah.
all the time, because sometimes you can be great to someone and they still don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
But there's always a lesson as to why we have certain interactions with people,
100%.
you know?
And
No, for real.
to deepen it, not that I don't want to throw it left, guys, but I'm going to throw in a span and leave it alone, right? To deepen it, for those who believe in reincarnation, they may say it has nothing to do with you learning a lesson. You just had a role you had to play in
Oh,
your
yeah.
time.
And that too.
That part. And there's that part. Yeah. There's
Mm.
definitely that part. Because
But
sometimes we're
I didn't
supposed
say
to.
nothing.
Yeah. No, trust me. Do you know what? Because there's been many a times where I've sat there and thought, "Rah, like, why did I have to go through all of that?" And then it's like, I'll have my little chat with the universe, and the universe says, because you were supposed to. It's character
Yeah,
development, kids. You're all right. Do you get me? You're still here.
yeah,
You're still going. You're good. And
mm,
sometimes things do happen because
Yeah.
they're supposed to. And I think also as well, sometimes we just attract these things because of the frequency that we're vibrating at that time. Do you know what I mean?
Aha.
I've had time periods in my life where I've been low vibing as shit. Like, do you get me? Didn't like myself too much. Didn't really give a shit about anything else.
mm,
But then I just attracted people who just didn't give a shit about anything. And I'm there crying and questioning it. I go, hold on. That's how I feel about
mm,
myself. So what I feel about myself, I'm putting
Correct.
that vibration up there. That's mad.
Come on.
It's crazy.
mm,
Yeah. So we have to always keep
That's
the,
it.
I always say the self-reflecting, self-awareness, that all of
yeah,
that is such a
yeah.
big part of life. I'm just going to read through some of these comments before I come to you, Hoyt. So we've got Swink9. So big up to everyone who's in the comments and big everyone who's watching right now. So we've got Swink9 says, respect for that. We all have skeletons in our closet. It's how we choose to address them. Yes.
Sweet.
That's a powerful one. But why are people trying to chat to Sticky Fingers in the DJ Sticky Fingers in the thing? Listen, yeah, don't big him up like that. Sticky, you're wrong, and I'm gonna DM you after this thing. Sticky says, "Can I ask, would it matter if you meet a new partner and they said they had been violent in their past relationship?" Ooh, that's a deep one.
That's a beautiful question.
Silver, I'm gonna
Mm,
come to you first on that one.
All right. Thank you for that question, because it does it's kind of profound. And we like to say, no, because I'm a queen. Let me tell you, for someone to tell me who they were in their past life, there's two categories that will be a no in, and you haven't mentioned those two categories.
Mm-hmm.
I would feel my fear, the fear in me would want to say no, but that's the fear.
mm,
The
Okay.
fear of, I don't want to go through, we're not going there, okay? But the consciousness would like to say yes, according to the work he may have done on why he was violent. Now,
Yeah.
him saying I was a woman beater as a
Yeah.
journey is very different than saying a boxer one time.
Yeah.
I'm not
It
saying it's
is.
right,
No.
but I'm saying perhaps in that one time, the same way you box your in their face, you shouldn't have done.
mm,
In
mm.
there.
Yeah, I thought you got
Yeah.
away with it. If it was one of those, and you came and told me, boy, again, fear, but I'm more likely to give him a chance. Yes, because I know my hands ain't clean.
No, I hear you on that. And do you
I'm
know
not a
one thing
violent
you
woman,
said?
but I've got many, many, many flaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was one thing you said as well, yeah, that just sat with me when you said it depends, you don't know, like it depends on why, on what happened. Because
What
I know
happened?
my friend was in that situation, yeah. He met a guy, proper liked him, lovely guy. really liked him. And then she come to me, she said to me, oh, he's been in jail, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, all right. I said, what did he go to jail for? She said, beating up a woman.
Hey,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
said, okay. I said, okay. I said, that's mad. That's wild, isn't it? Obviously, you can't have nothing to do with him if he's a woman beat or whatever. But then she didn't give him chance to explain why it happened, yeah. And it turned out, trigger warning, that this woman had interfered with his little brother.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm
wow.
saying? But she didn't give him a chance to say, I'm not saying that's right, but I ain't saying it's
That's
wrong.
it.
I ain't saying it's wrong. Do you get
Are
me?
you
And
nuts?
he fucked her up. Like, mashed her up in it. But we have to, what are you doing? What are you doing if you're in that situation? Because I know, hands down, I'm doing the same thing. But it was just, obviously, he said that, you know, I beat up a woman, I put her in hospital, so I went jail for it. That's all she heard. She didn't hear anything after that. And then when she gave him a chance to explain, and then he said,
Wow.
you know what? He said, I'm not a violent person. He said, just my emotions. I had no emotional, nothing was there. I didn't see anything. All I know is that this woman interfered with my little brother. So I was looking to kill her. Do you get me? And then yeah, it was
Oh,
mad. It was mad. But
a
then
one box would have been fine, and maybe get someone else to deal with it as
that
another woman, if that. But
yeah, yeah. And then, you know, and then he said that was the mistake I made, and I had to learn from it. But then it was just like he just said, you because you judged it. He said, I get it, I get why you did, but I was trying to explain to you, and you didn't give me that chance to explain. So yeah, we never know the circumstances of
Yeah.
what, you know, people are going through. We never know. So only one verb says free flowing. That wasn't a red flag with that guy. That was an illuminous flag. A luminous, you get it?
but for
It's
the
a
record verbs, I don't even tend to count red flags because I think, again, media talks too much about it. I only count my own flags. I'm not
yeah,
counting anybody's flags.
no,
I'm looking for
I
green
hear it.
flags. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not
Yeah,
looking
yeah, no, I hear
for
it.
red flags.
Um, only one verb says, I know if it was my little brother, she's being introduced to the Holy Ghost. See it? See it there?
Wow.
And it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Verbs kills me off, man. Sticky then says, we all have a past. I suppose there are levels to the past. The people we were at 18 is very different to how we are at 36. Yes, Sticky. Wait,
Yeah.
let's
Not when it comes to
do this.
domestic violence necessarily, but I hear that.
Yeah, no, I hear it. No, I hear it.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
being a
So
drug addict. It is there. It's there, you
Mm,
know?
yeah, I'm acting still.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, the conversation around discernment is, it makes me think about instances in my life where I literally could have lost my life. I don't know, Chitty, I don't know if you remember the time I told you about this trip I was invited on by this group of friends, and I had these dreams and like the nightmares.
Yes,
You remember that?
yes, I
So
do.
that was discernment because I literally, if I had went against that inner voice. So what is the inner voice, right? So I believe that epigenetics is a real thing. We don't know that at a certain point, maybe you descended from a griot, some oracle, a person that was just really in tune, someone that was a naturalist, whatever, right? And so I think it's a mixture of being spiritually enhanced and aware, but also, you know, from a scientific standpoint, we have more neurotransmitters, pardon me, in our gut biome than we do in our brain. So when you get that gut feeling, that's scientifically real. Like that's something in you where you're discerning your environment, you're reading people. And this is from a scientific standpoint, you know, as Homo sapiens, this is stuff that in conjunction with the spirituality, in conjunction with being energetically connected, this is something that we've evolved over the past 250,000 years to actually be aware of our environment, to quickly on the spot be able to see a predator, whether they are us or they are, whether they're another person, or it's just some sort of thing in our environment that can kill us. And so I believe that people bring certain energy and spirit, you know, certain energy from a spiritual standpoint with them.
Yeah,
So, for example, only 4 people know where I live at.
that's
Only,
good.
Wow.
and
Cool, you know?
I do not invite everyone into my home because I've invited people into my space and they disrupt the chi, the feng shui, if you will, that's going on in my space. So I don't invite everybody where I live. I don't eat with everybody. I'm not going to break bread with you. I'm not going to even listen to music with everyone. And if you want to go to smoking, I don't smoke with everybody. I had a horrific experience where I smoked with a friend and I just saw him, and you're not going to tell me it's just because I was, inebriated or whatever. I saw and felt something that was negative and off-putting. This ties back to the story that I told you. This was one of the people that when I was like, it was like something like I felt a coldness in my bones that I never felt before being around this person. So discernment is key. The other thing is using the word love and friend has heavy impact and heavy significance because you have to earn the right for me to call you a friend.
Yeah.
I heard a quote somewhere that said, anybody that's a friend to everybody is an enemy to himself. Because you have people that come into your path and they're not your friend. You ever heard of the concept of destiny swapping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a real thing, and it's happened to people. And I've had people that came into my life that have tried to destiny swap.
Yeah.
I've seen it, and I was able to fight against it. And this is where the discernment comes in. Now, let me point out to you where I've discerned incorrectly. So I had a guy that was a mentor of mine, right? I was in a program, and this guy, I was like, I get bad vibes from him. I'm not like, something's off. But then as I got to know him and I've seen certain things and I've spoken with people, this guy's just one of those people that's just socially inept. Like he's not, I don't know if he's on the spectrum or what have you, but he's just, he moves differently. And I was okay, maybe I was picking up incorrect signals and things kind of hit me in a way that they were not meant to hit me. But discernment can literally save your life. And even online, and I'm gonna wrap this up, even online, don't get carried away by the online personalities that you see.
It's a character.
So many people see people online. Like, for example, it's this guy on TikTok called, his name is 607 I don't know if you've seen any of his clips. And people are so carried away by him, or people like Kevin Gates. People are like so like carried away and they're acting like these guys are giving you some deep esoteric knowledge, but you don't know who these people are when the camera is off. You don't know who your favorite podcaster is when there's no people around. And what people don't realize, I've met people, I won't call out, well, I could call out names because this is in London, so y'all not in my city. So I could
name to jump in London.
Okay, so well, look, I'm gonna be careful what I say, but I know people that are popular in my city that are like everywhere when it comes to content, and they have this image of just being this big altruistic person. But my discernment when I met them, people like, oh, why you don't like so and so? Then I find out they often cheat on their wife. I find out that they're doing X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, then I'm vindicated when other people find out the same thing, that this person's really a piece of shit. So discernment is powerful. I'm going to wrap it up with that.
No, discernment is real powerful. Hoyt, you said some powerful stuff there.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff. But they're bigging you up in the comments, boy. So awakening my heart through my soul. Big up, Chantel. She says, oh, yes. Feel that only a few people know where I'm at, and my circle is very small. Verb says destiny swapping. Boy, it's a mad one.
I like the sound of that conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to you.
I'll have a part 2, 3, and 4 on that one, man.
Do you know what I'm saying? This is, I definitely want to come back, because that one I was like, oh shit, because I read something about this and it's like, it's definitely have to do a part 2 to it. So Verb says, tell him, bro. And yeah, man, they're just picking you up in the, because you know what? It's powerful. A lot of the things that you said there, Verbs, like I just feel like everyone, we all have different elements to ourselves. We all have different faces, isn't it? And this is why I always say to people, don't take this online thing so seriously, you know.
Yeah.
Please don't, and remember
but don't we know this though? The honor rule, it might, like in that part. First of all, I love the way you express yourself. Is it Hyde? Yeah. I love the way you articulate yourself. I love it. Yeah. I just love it. I'm like,
Yeah, I know. It was in terms of,
I love it. I love love it. But in terms of like, we all, as adults, we all know that not all that glitters is whatever. But what I do know is what's bad vibes for you, but be good vibes for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's
that's where
that.
I hold tight on the art of individualism, because every time I might say, oh my God, that person, unless I know something dangerous about them, I don't have to warn you, because maybe we just have bad vibes together, and it's not for divine. It's not for
Yeah.
Chidi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And again, I say we are very tuned in with who is got bad vibes. Have you ever said, I've got bad vibes today?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got to keep
Yeah.
saying that, because that's
Yeah, I'll own
we're
that
tuned.
shit. Like, I'll say
Yeah.
it with chest.
Sometimes
I'll say,
my vibe is,
listen.
I stay in my house. I don't own her around
Yeah,
people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
exactly.
My best friend will say to me, yeah,
So
listen, Chidzz, I'm full of shit today. Yeah, I'm not even trying to
that's
do
my
that because I'm going to
kind
probably
of friends.
disrespect you.
That's my
For
kind of
real.
friends.
And that's why, you
Yeah.
get me, I love him with all my heart, because that's what we do. And we're just like, do
Yeah.
you know what? And he'll know, like, I'll be quiet and he'll say, yeah, you're off today. And I'm like, yeah, don't chat to me. And I'm like that. And I won't put myself in certain situations when I know that my energy is off. But you know, a lot of people, they'll still go and put themselves out there. They'll
Yeah.
still go and do,
But
because they feel
sometimes
that
you
they
have
have
to
to,
those kids.
yeah,
Sometimes we have to just get
have
on with life. But
to.
that's
Yeah.
my point, though. And I do mean, I shouldn't say I don't mean, I do mean to keep going back to that point, because again, I just feel like as beings, we're very IQ is on point with everything outside of
Outside,
self. I don't care
externally,
how
yeah.
deep we want to be or how well we want to articulate. That is something that I'm aware of. And
Yeah.
again, you know, no matter how nice you are, you may not have an intention inside of you. Maybe, you know, you may be in a great mood, but somebody else is like, I don't like that girl's vibe.
It's
Yeah.
gonna
It's not
fuck
for her.
with
It's
them.
not for her
It's
to
gonna fuck
like.
with
It's
someone
not for
else.
her to
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So this is where,
Do you know
like, I think,
what I mean?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And I think this is where, for example, when I say I don't, like, I dislike somebody, and I'm not talking about necessarily discernment or like bad energy. It's like, I'll just be like, I don't like this person, right? It's because they've actually done something to me. So
Yeah.
let's say the three of you all, let's say we all were in London kicking it, and y'all was like, hey, we don't like this person, right? And then I'm asking you all, and you all give a different opinion, or maybe someone's like, hey, it's just the vibes. I need to experience this person for self.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I go from there to say, okay, I've had this experience with a person, because there are people that, and this is to your point, there are people that I'm cool with, but another person is like, I don't know about them. I'm getting a bad vibe.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of like, maybe in certain circumstances, maybe there's a spiritual reason unbeknownst to us why we're getting bad vibes from each other.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be, maybe it could
100%.
be, maybe our bad vibes is protecting us from a situation that could ruin both of our lives.
Well,
Yeah.
And we just
Yeah.
can't see it. And we're interpreting it as, oh man, we got bad vibes, or maybe I'm in a bad mood today, or they're in a bad mood. But this could be a spiritual protection to keep us apart.
that's
And this is just
so
my
good.
hypothesis.
That's so
Yeah.
But at the other part I wanted to speak on is, I think the reason why we don't have that vision with ourselves or with everything else, I think part of it is evolutionarily, from an evolutionary perspective, like, we are constantly looking at our environment and scanning any and everything. But I also think, because going back to my point earlier, it's painful.
Pain.
I don't think people like that shit. It sucks to look at yourself and look at all of your shortcomings, your inequities, things that are not right. It doesn't, because in our story, in our personal narrative, we want to look at ourselves as this good person, as this person that's always moving how they're supposed to move. And I think it's painful for a lot of us I know, at least I'm gonna speak for myself. You know, for me, it's been painful to take that sort of look at myself. I had to learn how to move through the pain of looking at myself objectively and looking at myself that way. And I think people want to avoid pain. You know, we love pleasure, and it can be painful to look at ourselves in that light.
Yeah.
No.
I agree
Yeah.
with you. I think that when I experience those feelings, I think it expands me to be more emotionally generous to others.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yes. Yes.
That's all it does for me. It's like, if I feel this way when I'm telling myself the truth, whether I like it or not, then it should allow me to be more empathetic in some cases with others.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
in terms of like why we don't like some people, someone very interesting who I had on my page, Divine knows we've been talking about this person over the last month. Yeah, bad vibes. Okay. Um, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
always one.
He said on one of my lives that sometimes the person that you may clash with or don't like, you may have been enemies in a past life.
Oh wow.
That part
Fucking
too.
hell, yeah.
I was
Mad
just
Oh,
thing.
I
gonna
Oh
dropped
say
that
wow.
there.
that.
I'll leave
Damn.
that one there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's
a
true.
mad thing. See
Yeah.
that? Yeah, see that? So I already don't like him myself. Yeah. Nah, but no, but for real, do you know what?
Wow.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you one thing. I remember one person. Yeah, there was a person I met at an event, and I instantly didn't like him. Innit? Just I don't know what it was. Just something came over me. I was like, nah, not for me. And then it was
Mm,
funny because it was at another event, and the same person was in it. They kept seeing them at these different events and whatever. And then we actually spoke. We had like a long ass conversation, and I was like, shit. I was like, you know what? When I first clocked you or whatever, didn't like you. And then he said to me, he said, I think my soul recognized your ego
Woo.
and my soul recognized your ego and your soul recognized my ego. He said, that's what I think it was. And that got me thinking. I
Ooh,
was like,
wow.
you know
I
what?
love
mm,
So
that. Ooh.
he said because every time we interacted, we were operating on opposite ends of the spectrum. So he said, now we're both. He said, how are you feeling this evening? I said, do you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great, calm. And he said, but so am I. He said, I'm feeling the same
Mm.
way. And we chopped it up for a good 2 hours. Me and him sat outside smoke. Do you get me? We missed the whole thing because we're talking. And
yeah.
that was something that made me think, do you know what? It's not always, and also as well, within that conversation, we kind of we were talking about certain things, and it's like, you know, the girls, the ladies that I do the podcast with, the one woman in particular, Nads, big up Nads, my twin all day,
Mm,
yeah. And when I first met her, I instantly loved her, yeah. Don't know what it was, but I just looked at her and I just wanted to hug her.
yeah.
But because
Uh-huh.
of the energy that was around her at that time, I couldn't fuck with her, you know? And then it was
Ooh.
mad how that energy,
Mm,
when that energy was removed, she came into my life the way it aligned. So I think
yeah.
sometimes
Wow.
it's
It's a
circumstantial
alignment.
and it's situations and it's other people's energy can mess up whatever connection you're supposed to have with other people. Definitely, I definitely
Mm,
believe in that. But guys, I've got a scenario for you, yeah. So don't want to end it on this note. I'm gonna say it's a to be continued because we didn't even do the third topic, yeah, which I
yeah.
knew we wasn't gonna get through to it because this is why this is why I'm very choosy about who I have on the podcast, and I always love to have like put powerful people together because when you put powerful people together, it just makes for such a great conversation. And
Yeah.
this has made me think about so many different things. My head's blown tonight, and I love that.
Mm,
I love that. So thank you. But I'm going to give you this scenario, and we're going to chop this up. Let me know what you think, guys. No
Mhm.
judgment, and I want you to give your real opinions. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So here we go. So my best friend has started seeing this guy, and she's really, really happy. I haven't seen her this happy in years. So she wanted to introduce me and a few of our other friends to him, and she invites us all to dinner. I walk in, and when I see the guy she's with, he's somebody I had a one night stand with.
Mhm.
We look at each other very awkwardly. It was really awkward. So I go into the kitchen to get a glass, and he comes in and says to me, look, don't tell her about what happened between us. There's no need to. I really don't know what to do. Is there any point in me telling her, or do I just leave it? Oh,
Mm.
wait, say
So
nah,
so
man.
okay, how long ago was the one night stand?
So I think it was like a good few months prior.
Okay, okay. You know what? This is. I feel like I'm going to give a politically incorrect answer. I'm not going to give. Okay, all right. So, all right, real talk. So, her friend met this guy. she's so happy, everything's going wonderful,
Yeah.
and she sees, okay, I had a one night stand with this guy a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, it's gonna sound fucked up. You know what? I'm gonna fall on this. Sometimes what people don't know won't hurt them. And this is the only I know I'm gonna get disagreements with this. This is the only reason I'm saying that. If if now with the girl in the scenario that had the one night stand with the guy, if she is 100% certain it was just a one night stand, I have no feelings at this point. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. She's not yearning for him. She doesn't want him back. If it was a one and done, I'm good. This was 7-8 months ago. I'm on to something else now. And if he feels the same way about her, he's not looking at her like, damn, it was fire or whatever. He doesn't feel that way either. Then I'm just like, the girl doesn't need to know. I don't think she would need to know. If they know it's not anything there, I don't see why she would need to know. I think you could keep it moving. That's just my opinion. Now, if she still has a feeling about this guy or something like that, then
Yeah.
if that's the case, she's going to have that difficult conversation with her friend. And I
Okay.
don't know what that would look like for them. She'll have to determine what's this going to look like. But if you're close friends with her and she's dating this guy, you all hooked up, let's say 7-8 months ago, you still have a even if it's just a sexual attraction, maybe not even just sexually, y'all hit it off. It was just a dynamite, right? You're gonna have to talk to her about that. But if it's like there's no feelings at all, I don't see a need to bring it up. If you know you don't want him at all, he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want you at all, I don't see the harm in just keeping it moving. I know,
Mm.
I know, I know, I
No.
know, I know, I
No, this is
know.
what, you know what, Hoyt? I do want to commend you. I want to commend you on the reason why I'm going to commend you is because when I give these scenarios and I read them out, yeah, there's some of the shit that people say. It's like they forget I'm actually asking for your opinion and can you please give this person some advice? They're like, oh, you've got the person's friend, that's mad. I would tell her, and then they go off the tangent. So thank you,
Yeah,
Hoyt. Thank you for doing what needed to be done.
yeah.
Silver, I'm coming to you, girl, because I can see your mind boggling. I can see your head moving. Talk to me. What are you doing? Your friend's
I'm,
really,
I'm,
really happy.
I'm telling her. And the reason why I'm going to tell her, let me tell you why.
Mm.
The scenario, unless I misheard, the scenario wasn't someone I met at work as a friend and we're just work friends and I don't have to see
Mm-mm.
her. This is a friend that I'm going to be continuing to lie to permanently. And the reason why it's going to be continuous lies because you're going to be talking to me about this guy like I've never met him before, and my response is going to be made up like I don't know anything about him. It's a continuous lie that I just don't want to be a part
Yeah,
of. I don't.
yeah,
Yeah,
Now, if you talk to me about cheating, he cheated, and what I told, that's a different response you're going to get from me. Being there, done that, not getting involved. It's your business.
yeah. Mind your business.
That's a whole other
mm,
conversation.
Yeah,
This, I'm going to say, babes, just to let you know, he
yeah,
and I had slap and tickle. Even if me and him done more than that, I'm giving you
yeah,
parameters. Do you understand?
yeah.
But
yeah.
you done know.
No, I hear it.
I saw something and he felt something. The rest is down to you if you still want to be with him. I'm not even telling the person so they don't be with him. I'm just letting you know that whatever you're sharing, I've tasted.
Oh, raw.
Mm.
My
I
girl said,
dare you there,
raw.
Silver. She
My
gave me
girl
a
So,
said that.
I've
Now,
Now,
tasted.
say
now
that last bit again. Say it again.
I don't know what I said.
so I have a question.
Go for
Go
it.
on.
Telling her, is that more for her benefit or so you feel good?
This
But
is why I know that you have a lot of emotional intelligence, because while you were speaking, that's what
Mm,
came to mind, which is a lecturer once told me,
mm,
when you ask a question as a training therapist, for an example, are you asking for yourself or for the client?
Mm.
Yeah. So I'm glad you asked me that question that I was thinking. I'm telling her more for myself.
Okay.
And I say
Okay.
that in this moment because I haven't lived it, right? So it's an
yeah.
imaginary. And the
Mm.
reason why I
Mm,
say myself is because regardless what happens between me and her, whether we speak again, don't speak again, friends for 10 years time, or whether I become her bridesmaid at their wedding, I'm
Mm.
letting you know the status of what kind of woman I
mm,
am.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fair point.
Yeah.
I
You
follow
talking
you.
to me
I
about
follow
this
you.
guy like I don't know him, never met him before, and I've got a whole Hollywood story. Like, oh my god, girl,
And
really? And I know
you've
the
been,
man. Come
you've
on.
been
Yeah.
all up in it, yeah? And I was just sitting there and I'm like,
Yeah.
Can't
yeah,
never
shit,
be
yeah.
friends. If I find out that you dealt with him, I don't care if you only went out on a date and nothing happened. I'm writing you off like a crashed car because I can't trust you now.
Oh,
You played and
okay.
acted in my face. What wouldn't you do?
Mm.
Okay.
So
Divine
yeah,
I've
lady.
actually
for
been
me,
in
I'm
that
setting myself
situation
free. For
before.
me,
I was
hide. For me.
gonna say divine lady. See how the way you're nodding your head, girl? I know you know about this shit. What are you
Yeah.
saying? What are
I
you
have
saying?
actually been in that situation
Uh,
before,
Is it?
um, where the person had slept with the guy before, obviously I had started messing with them.
Okay.
But
mm.
they were honest about
Ooh.
it, and it was like a one and done. So
Okay.
it didn't
But
really
did you
like
carry on seeing the man? I want to know this.
for a
Mm.
short while, yeah, but it didn't progress because for different reasons, it just
Okay.
didn't.
I was
You
gonna
know what I mean?
say for
But
Yeah,
different. Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
for the reasons. Yeah.
yeah, because
Okay.
we were close. But for me, I would tell
Mm,
only because I don't want anyone else to be able to bring back information to you that I should have rightfully told you.
okay.
Do you know what I mean? Out of
Okay.
respect. If there's a respectful relationship there, then I'm just going to keep it respectful to you and let you
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? But
What if there's not a respectful relationship there?
like me and the girl we're not close, we're not. Then I don't need to tell that her my business.
Nice.
So
I don't need
Now,
to
do you
tell
know
you
what
my
I hear
business
that?
then, babe.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Straight. I don't need to tell you nothing. But if,
okay.
You're
if
hot.
it's someone I know, I'll be respectful and let them know. Just so nobody else can come and tell you
And
stories.
chat
You've heard
shit.
it from the horse's
Come
mouth.
on.
Literally. Yeah.
So I want to say this. I want to say that after hearing the different perspectives, I definitely agree. I think because what people could do, maybe it's not necessarily you two, but a person on the outside that wants to hold something over your head that may know about
Mm,
it can come in and sabotage the friendship. So from thinking from that perspective, I would say yes. I would just say, hopefully with the person you have this friendship with, hopefully they're a person where they can take this information and say, well, thank
Mm.
you. You guys can continue your friendship
mm,
and keep it going. But there are some people that where if you told them something like that, they'll be like, I don't. Well, I want to be with him more, and
Mm.
being with him matters more than our friendship. And so
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
going to distance myself from you. But
Yeah.
then, as you were saying, that's not my responsibility. It's that I put it out there. So I see that point of view, and I think
Yeah.
in going back now and assessing it, and the fact that if other people outside they could come in and just say, well, you know what? Did you know that so and so was with so and so
Mm,
7 months ago? And
Mm-hmm.
mm,
so yeah, and then also it kind of depends upon how close of friends are you guys? Are
yeah.
you like work buddies? Are
Yeah.
you just associates? Are you a
I'm
friend
saying.
where, so it's all of those
Mm.
variables come into play.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's different
Definitely.
factors. There definitely is.
What does
Only
Chidzz think?
so, listen. I read up the scenario. I ain't answering that shit. No, 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 no. No, but on a level, I think it depends who the person is to me in it because it could be mad. Because when the person gave me this scenario, I thought, you know what? Imagine if it's somebody that you and her don't really, par like that. There's a little bit of whatever energy between you or whatever. Then she'll be like, are you just saying that do you know what I mean? To cause whatever.
Mm.
And then I'm in a whole argument with this. And then the guy turns around and says, nah, she's lying. I don't know what she's on about. You know what I mean? That's mad.
Oh,
That's crazy. Because that
Mm.
shit happens, isn't it? But then if it's somebody who's really, really close to you, like if it's my bestest friend, I'm telling her
oh yeah,
because
yeah.
I wouldn't want, then it's up to her to make that choice, innit? If she's okay with the fact that that man's been all up in me, yeah, then cool, innit? Do your
Mm.
thing. Whatever, that's on you.
Mm.
But I just know if that was me now, yeah, and I have been in a situation where, I was interested in a guy when I was a lot younger. I was like 19. I was interested in him. And then I was telling my friend about it, and I seen the look on her face, innit? And I was like, yo, yeah, no, absolutely no. And she said, oh, no, it was time ago. And then I said, no, we're not doing that. Because I can't. I don't need to know, innit?
Yeah.
I don't need to know, because for me, I'm a visionary. So every time that now I'm going to look at him and I can, no, we're not doing that. So, yeah, it totally depends on, you know, the situation, who it is.
But Chidzz,
Because people are bad mind. People are bad mind.
Chidzz, you said your best friend. Me and you are not best friends, right?
Mm.
I start seeing the guy and you slept with him. You're going to tell me?
Yeah,
I'm sticking it on you tonight. Yeah.
So, okay. So if you started seeing a guy and I'm going to because I like your vibe and I like your energy and I can't be a bitch like that. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't be like, oh, I couldn't see you, say you posted a picture with the guy now, yeah? And I'd be like, oh shit, why have I got to go and do this? But I would have to. I would have to, innit? Because see me, I wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't rest. I'd be like, this is mad, but I'm gonna have to tell you.
Let me bring the man out the cupboard now then. Can you tell me if you know this man, yeah? Medical blow up man, you know the one there.
I'd be like, shit, I kind of know him, I've seen him before.
Thank you.
But no, I would. Depending on the person, like some women, like, you get me, there's some women, I'd just be like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I don't care for you like that. But they, you know, for me, there's a certain type of woman, you know, and I'm just like, nah, I can't do that. I am a girl's girl like that. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't do that. That's it. It don't sit right with me. It would be mad, and it'd be weird. And then if she found out, then she'd think, rah, she's moving mad. Why didn't she just say? Because it is a case of just saying, but then it definitely depends on who the person is. If it's just any girl, and you just you get me, I was like, that's your business. Do your thing.
100%.
Yeah. And it's how you say it. Because the girl that came to me, she didn't come on like the vibe of, oh, I slept with him, and no, she was just letting me know purely out of respect, and because she could see that we generally had a close bond anyway, even before they had, do you know what I mean, meshed bread. So it was a respectful thing. Do you know what I mean? But
I love that, and I can respect it as well. Because you know, as a woman, you do want to. We have to carry ourselves a certain way in it. We can't be being sly. There's being sly, and then there's being, you know.
And do you know what I respected as well? Is the fact that he told me before she even told me. So they respected me enough to tell me, so that I didn't have an issue with it. Do you know what I mean? So it was cool. But if it was like my bestie friends, I don't want to be with any guy that you've laid down with.
It turns my stomach.
I'm just a bit funny like that. I like to think that I'm the only fat kid in the cake shop, getting all the cake, all the sweets. It's my sweets, it's my cake. I know it's delusional, but you know what I mean? Because then I'm going to be thinking, I know you as my close friend. You must have been mashing bed with that one. Like, I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So I want to quickly add this in, because as we all were conversing, I thought about this same exact question and scenario, but instead it was a guy that just met a girl and everything's going great, and then one of his homeboys may have been with her several months before. And I was thinking about, with men in our ego, even if you're coming from a good place, that might result in a fight. Because we have way too much ego to get that sort of intel and just be okay with it. I was just thinking about that as we were talking.
Men are crazy. Listen.
Men don't like to share nothing.
Men will ask you straight up to be sometimes.
Sometimes I like that.
Straight. Sometimes, but for men, I think it's different, and they seem to get angry. Testosterone gets very high, and they get very angry to think that, like. You said what? We smashed the same gap. Yeah, they don't like that shit. They don't.
It's a small world. We've all slept with everybody. All three of us have been in one bed. All four of us.
Exactly.
It's a small world. What do you think this is?
Exactly. That's what happens. And you just gotta. You gotta be aware of it, but I just close my mind to it. I'm like, I'm not really trying to think about who you slept with before. Do you know what I mean? And don't worry about me in it. We're good in that moment. But if it's close, yeah, for me it's a big no. I can't really be sleeping with anyone my friends slept with. Probably have, but you know, it is what it is. But, we've got 21 Verb says, it's not my business. She should sip tea like Kermit.
Oh no. What's Verb saying? Let me have a little peek. I can't see without my glasses. You all know me.
So and then Vibe says, drink water and mind your business. Big up Mr. True Talk each and every time. DJ Sticky Fingers says, Chidzz, you need to ask the guest about the Ask Millie question. I'm going to save that for the part 2 because you're not ready for that one. That one's crazy. Stop causing problems in the comments. We've got Nat says, Matting Santing. We know it, Nat. We know it. We've got Only One Verb says, nah, ain't no fun if the whole... Hang on a minute.
Nah, man, wait a minute.
What's that? Did I miss something? I can't
Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none.
I'm done. Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Oh, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. Nad says, of course it matters, Sticky, for fuck's sake. Do you know what? Sticky can't. Guys, let me tell you something about Mr. DJ Sticky Fingers. He can't help himself, but he is the greatest. It is his season. It is Taurus season, so I'm going to big him up. But when Taurus season is done, I'm coming for you, Sticks. I'm definitely coming for you. But yeah, it's crazy.
What's after Taurus season? It's slipping my mind. What comes after that?
Your mind? Why is it doing that?
I can't remember. What's after Taurus season?
Yeah, that's crazy. Because
Gemini.
I'm on the cusp.
It might be Gemini.
You see how I'm on the cusp? Yeah. You're lucky. The little piece of Taurus in me, yeah, is gonna rate you, but don't piss me off because you know I'm a Gemini, innit? You already know.
Really?
I'm definitely a Gemini, but I have. I'd say my head is Taurus and my heart is Gemini.
The way you speak, I would have thought you were a Taurus because you're quite rebel when you want to be. You're quite straight.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, okay, yeah, that makes, because I'm on the cusp, so they're like, okay, that makes sense. But my Gemini traits do come out.
I'm just gonna say this.
Yeah.
After seeing what Kendrick Lamar did to Drake, I'm never beefing with a Gemini. Yeah, I'm leaving Geminis alone.
Yeah, it'll be crazy for you because we think way too much and we go in. We got big hearts. I think Gemini, especially Gemini women, we have very big hearts. But you know, if you hurt us or you upset us, it's mad for you. It's crazy. It's a long day. Yeah. But guys, no, that's a long day. It's crazy. What's your star sign, Divine Lady?
I'm on the cusp, so I'm Libra Scorpio.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah, Libras. I get along really well with you and Scorpios, so I get along. But Libras, I get along with because they're my balance. They're definitely the balance. Yeah, 100%.
So I'm actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm actually on a cusp. I'm on an Aries Taurus cusp.
Yeah, it makes. Do you know the Aries part? Yeah, definitely makes sense with you.
Yeah.
A little bit, little Aries there, a little sprinkle of some Aries.
You got it is, and then you got a whole load of Taurus. But no, man, I love Taurus. Pick up my Taurus, But yes, no. So at the end of every life, and it's not the end, it's just the end going on to a continuation. I always ask my guests, so I'm going to big you up each and every time and just say thank you so much for coming on the Hold the Vision platform. You know what, like everything that you each contributed individually and as a collective, it's just been beautiful. I knew the conversation was going to be powerful. Very strong-minded people, very you've got good opinions and the different outlooks, but that's what makes for such a great conversation. So I want to thank you on that. And I always ask my guests to just give like some words of wisdom. It can be short, it can be long, it can be whatever you want. But just something just for the viewers to take with them from you. So I'm gonna go with Divine Lady first. Divine Lady, give us some words of wisdom, girl.
I would say, we only live one life, right? So plant good seeds, and those good seeds will come back to you. And don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Worry about whether you're actually proud of the person that looks back at you when you look in the mirror.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was some beautiful words. Thank you for that. Silver, I'm gonna come to you. Talk to me, girl.
What's come to mind is ride or die for yourself. Because remember, outside of self, you're dying more than you're riding. So continue to work on being loyal to yourself. Everybody else, adding sprinkles of loyalty is a bonus.
Look at that. Yeah, some powerful words. Vicky said sounded like poetry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a writer.
Indeed. Indeed.
Thank you.
But yes, Brother Hoyt, talk to me. Words of wisdom.
2 quick ones. The world, the universe is composed of things. Things are composed of words. Words are far more powerful than we can imagine. So make sure that every day you're speaking love, joy, life into yourself, into the people around you, into your life. Delete all negative self-talk. You are greater than you imagine. You have more strength, more intelligence, more power than you can comprehend, and continue to tap on it and work at it. And then the other thing I would say is in basketball, they said don't leave any points on the floor. So every day, make sure that you squeeze the most out of every day you can get. You know, laugh as hard as you can, dance as hard as you can, enjoy time with people that you love, go after your goals, you know, just excel and do everything you want with excessive passion and excessive focus, and leave no points on the floor, and look back on every day, week, and second and was like, damn, even if I fucked up in a fucking rare and amazing way. So it still was a memorable moment. So that's it.
That's right.
Yes.
I nearly done that until I remembered where it came from. The origin. The origin.
I wasn't doing that. I was
clicking. Yeah, I love that. No, I definitely love that. Thank you, guys. That was amazing. All I'll say to people is, you know what? Sometimes I'm not even going to lie to you yet. The past few days I haven't felt too well, and I was like, oh shit, I got to do this live, and I got to do a live tomorrow, and I got to do this and that. But you know what? The universe has this funny way of showing you and telling you that you have to do something. So do you know sometimes when you might get that feeling and think, oh, I can't be bothered, I don't want to do it, I ain't got the energy, those are the times that you need to do that thing that you're going to do, because you never know what it can result in. Do you get me? I feel like my vibration's been raised. I feel like I've taken away so much information and so many things from this conversation, and this is what it's all about for me. And when we started the Whole Division podcast, this was the vision. You know, everyone's doing a podcast, everyone's doing this online thing or whatever, but it's about what you're talking about. And I think these are the conversations we need to be having, the ones that's going to guide us through life, the ones that we can take something away from, not just the everyday topics that are in the media and stuff. When we have actually real conversations like this, this is what, it's powerful. It's powerful. And I just want to thank you again just for coming on. I'm definitely going to have the three of you on for a part 2, because there's so much more we need to talk about.
1,000.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I just want to, like I said again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Chidzz.
Thank you.
Man, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks.
If you guys are making it all worth it, and you guys in the comments, big up yourselves each and every time, because yeah, man, you lot kill me off sometimes. You lot make me laugh. But it's what makes a good discussion. It is. And I'm looking forward to watching this one back, because I know it's going to be a good one. But yes, guys, please go and follow up the YouTube channel, Whole Division Podcast. Guys, do you want to just plug your pages and everything?
Yeah, free flowing thoughts _ Shall I write it in the comments?
Yeah, try right. Yeah, right in the comments.
I'm going to jump on TikTok now, actually, so hang on. Shall I?
Yeah. Yes, guys, make sure you go and follow up free.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, guys. Yes. Chantal says the only one I regularly tune into. Thank you. So you know what? She's been a day one. She's been a day one. She's all the way in Australia as well. She's so awesome. But yeah. So Hoyt, do you want to plug your
certainly. So it's just the _ No Truths Barred podcast. Yes, I know if you look on this page, this man ain't doing shit. But I I am legit like TikTok and YouTube is my world. And Chitty, we got a link over on TikTok and do a live. If
Please.
y'all over there, let's follow each other. I'd love to do a
I'm
live
going to
over
jump
there
on there
and
now,
get
so I'll
something.
probably add you.
Yeah. So and follow the YouTube channel. More episodes on the way. And I want to say I love the whole division. I remember the podcast by the previous name
Yes,
before
True
the
Talk
brand
podcast.
change. So I remember it back then. And you're doing something really powerful. So keep echoing, keep putting your energy out there, keep putting your message out there, because it's benefiting people. And even if you don't see it, there's still change happening. You're still impacting change. You're still making change. So keep on keeping on. And I can't wait to do the part 2.
Oh, I appreciate you, Hoyt, each and every time. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
definitely.
Divine Lady, talk to us. Plug yourself,
Hi,
girl.
guys. I know I've been a bit more quiet today. I wasn't feeling great myself,
No,
so
yeah,
I
you weren't
understood.
feeling well.
Yeah. But Divine Lady, people know me from the Triggered Thoughts show as well.
Yeah.
I'm not too great with TikTok, but I will try and be a bit better with going on TikTok because it is a platform I should utilize. I can actually go live on there.
Yes, girl.
But yeah, you guys are doing amazing. It's always good to be around people who are, open to hearing other people's opinions, open to learning. You bring positive energy. It's always warm, high vibration, and I really do appreciate that because it's like soul food.
Oh, thank you so much. You know
So
what?
I
It's
appreciate you
difficult.
guys.
It's
Yeah.
difficult because it's difficult being online, and this is why I don't watch other people. I'm not really a watcher,
Yeah.
but I just know what I want for myself, and I won't give others the things that I don't want for myself. So I always try and be as transparent as I can. I'll have a little joke every now and again, but I really these topics and these kind of conversations, they really do mean a lot to me, and I do want to go deeper, and I do want to talk about the real things that people actually go through in life, because we need to help each other, man. Do you get me? I might not want to be present in the lives of everybody, but if I can put a little content out there that's going to resonate, then it's I'm doing my due diligence.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a beautiful
It's been amazing,
thing.
guys. I really loved it.
Yes, I definitely loved it, and I'm definitely so. Guys, look out for a part 2. We're definitely going to be doing a part 2. But as I always say, keep going, keep pushing, and keep shining. And yes, we'll be back next week with another live for you all. But take care, guys. Okay, sending you love always. Bye, guys.
Later, y'all. Take